Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer.
Good afternoon, TLN. It's Rocket Rob 99. At the request of PGL League, I thought I would take a few minutes to give my first impressions of Wolfenstein. Well, first of all, I got it on PS4 rather, just because I wanted the graphic quality of the game, and I got to tell you, I really am glad I did. The gunplay of the game is pretty interesting. I mean, there are different weapon choices and combinations. You can go akimbo on just about any weapon, including knives, pistols, machine guns, assault rifles, and so on. I mean, they're a little hard to control, a little hard to get used to, especially if you're playing Battlefield and so on and so forth. But I found that they were fun to play. The different weapons combinations that you can, pick up from the ground are really a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of it's close quarters play. I mean, there's no sights on the weapon, so that kind of makes it a little interesting. And somebody like me who needs a sight, it really makes you think a little bit more about how you fire. Also, you don't have ammo, although it's abundant depending on what difficulty level you're playing on. Generally, most of the ammo that you get, you have to pick up from enemies or find in the environment. I mean, enemies will come at you until, you've killed either all of them off or killed the commander. And as you play, they're pretty smart. I mean, I'm playing on the mid-level normal player, but I mean, my son Viper is playing on the harder levels. There are 5 different levels of gameplay, and as I'm sure some of you have seen in some of the other videos posted. So, I mean, I find the gunplay to be pretty good. The guns are accurate. There are enormous amounts of variations in the type of hits and damage you can do to the enemies. You can dismember, as you'll see in this particular shotgun shot. And, I mean, that kind of adds to the fun. The original Wolfenstein had a lot of that. The graphic quality is really amazing. I mean, as you go around, the environments that you're in are vivid. It's not simulation, but it's really good. There are little things and different things that you have to do as you play. Like here, as you see, there's a lot of lock picking. I found it to be moderately easy. It's really not that difficult to do, depending on the lock or what you're trying to open. But the environment is really important, and I think it really plays out well. Here you have the weapons wheel and what it looks like. The only thing I don't like is that there's no static button for grenades. You have to select it from the wheel to use it. But I found generally the menus were pretty easy to use and navigate. This shows the achievements and different levels you have to go through, and there are some different variations where you can make changes and so on. But back to the environment, as you see here, there are little things to find within the environment that will help you gameplay in the story. It'll give you, a perk, or in the case you're about to see a weapon. I mean, you could easily run by that and not see that. And when you see what weapon I pick up, a shotgun, which is a pretty badass shotgun at that, you could easily run by that. I mean, paying attention to what's in the environment, if you're just like racing through the story, is just going to be a waste with this game. There's a lot more to it. There are a lot of things to pick up in the environment, which gives you achievement, help you unlock stuff faster, and, to enjoy the game a little bit more. Then there's little stuff like this, which I don't really know what it, if it tells you anything that's significant in the story. In my point of the game, I don't know if this is really worth it, but I like checking that kind of stuff out, so of course I did look at it. Overall, it's a pretty graphically violent game, as you can see from the blood there on my hand. There's a lot of different types of takedowns. If you're squeamish, for blood or whatever else, this is not the game for you. But if you're interested in a lot of, good combat, gun combat, hand-to-hand combat, as well as in any game, it's always cool to kill Nazis, and any way that you could, inflict the most amount of pain on a Nazi, therefore, it's cool in my book. You know, so I mean, I think that in the video game genre, I think everybody has a certain affinity for killing Nazis. I mean, everybody enjoys it. It never gets old. And they have proven in this game, although they added a lot of updated stuff, because as you'll know in the storyline here, the Nazis won World War II, and they have taken over the world. And much of the story is about that there's no resistance, nobody fighting the Nazis, and your main character, the main protagonist of the story, that's what he's there to do. You know, I mean, there are different lots of options to kill people. I picked up a sniper rifle there in the nest, that I could have killed that guy with that, but I chose to go with the stealth route. Um, I will say this is, even if you set off the alarm, it's pretty easy. You just got to kill the commander, and in the overlay of the screen there in the upper right hand corner, it tells you how far the commander is away from you, in case the alarm is risen. And, you know, I mean, there it is. I just took down the commander, and as you see, the overlay disappeared. Now, if you do get seen and the commander raises the alarm will continue to sound until you kill the commander. So there will be an endless supply of enemies chasing you until you kill the commander. Well, that's pretty much it. Check it out. Check out our website, PoundStrikePlus.net. This is Rock. Have a great day.